Hey now, welcome everybody. Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to episode 107. I think it's 107 of the Uneeda podcast. We're back with another reaction episode. And we're glad you're with us. Be sure to use that turn signal. Somebody's taking a turn right now. And welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Toddler, slam on the brakes.
Slam on the brakes. Boom.
You're
with us. So you're about to take a journey with us for the 107th time for some of you. So
yes, we're doing something that has been requested of us a few times that Christian is actually knows nothing about, nothing at all.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be nice to react to something I have never. I say never. I had to, because when I was finding that list, I looked at one or two of them and I rolled my eyes. But I mean that's it. I didn't look at anything else, so I'm excited. You could tell people what we're doing.
So this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this at 3 a.m. Stevie Wayne.
3 a.m.
Yeah, I was gonna. Anyway, I don't know what I was doing there. I was trying to do a Stevie Wayne thing. We're gonna react to a documentary that came out, almost 20 years ago now. That was Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments. I remember when it was on Bravo. I remember watching it on television when I was younger. And it's kind of weird because, as I was telling Christian before we started this, going back and rewatching some of it, some of them, they don't even really specify what moment. Some of them, they were just talking about the movie itself. So I've got the IMDb list pulled up for it, and they've put a moment with each movie. So we're going to go off of that. But yeah, these lists are always interesting. And I think you agree, just because, one, it's obviously all opinion. Like it just is. Did this freak you out? Cool. It didn't. Cool. Whatever. But also there's going to be movies on here that we've probably never even heard of, let alone seen. I mean, there's going to be some shit on here that neither one of us, we'll probably just be like, cool, whatever. All right. No debate. So even though it's 100 entries, this is not going to last, 2.5 hours, because some of these are going to be very quick. I don't know. So
it's I got a lot of respect that Blum actually admitted that Taylor Swift has enough pull that he's got to change the release date of his movie, because I guess you got to assume everybody's a Swiftie. She got 100. I looked today; she has over 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify alone. So I mean, she's not Michael Jackson level, I don't think, but she's certainly the closest thing we have today. I mean, she's filling out stadiums. Like, she's past arenas, she's filling out stadiums. And I'll see these TikToks, whatever, and there's 5,000 people outside of the stadium listening to the show, dancing and like tailgating during the show. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. No real argument for me there, I guess. I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not going to say anything bad about her, though. Yeah, just never really my thing. But I saw that they said that they've already sold like $10 million worth of tickets opening night for that. So it honestly was a smart business decision by Blum to go, okay, we probably shouldn't open next to it.
It's crazy, man. It's I tweeted out earlier, I said Satan fears Taylor Swift. Dude.
He does.
I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie. I don't actively listen to her, but it's literally impossible, not to hear her stuff when you pull up any social media thing, especially like Instagram, and some of the songs I kind of like I've learned just from hearing them so goddamn much.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got respect though that he openly admitted it, because if he would have not said anything, I think it not necessarily would have been a bad look, but it's just like, if you get ahead of the joke, you own it. not that I'm saying it's a joke per se, but the fact that he hashtagged Taylor wins or whatever, I gave him credit. So I'm not going to shit on Jason Blum for once. I'm actually going to give him credit for just saying, look, I'm not competing with Taylor fucking Swift, dude. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They're probably all the theaters that weekend are probably going to be fucking they're going to have to use every fucking room at those theaters to play that concert. Every single one. I guarantee you they're going to sell so many tickets. It's going to be nuts.
I really don't understand how somebody takes over pop culture like that. I really don't. Like,
Well, it's not healthy. I can tell you that. It's not healthy to be
No.
that famous. I mean,
she'll never live a normal, like, even close to a normal life ever. Like, she'll get older and she'll be like, man, I feel like I missed out on a lot because I couldn't even walk out in public. Like,
yeah. I don't know, dude, but yeah, it's interesting. But I agree. I really don't think it's healthy to be that famous. You know, people cry like it reminds me of Michael Jackson stuff. You know, because I lived through the Jackson era for a lot of it, and I remember being a kid on TV. Like, people would drop at the sight of him. They would drop. I mean, their knees would buckle. They'd hysterically cry, and you don't see that per se, but it's just a bunch of girls screaming and hollering, and they go to these shows. They say it's the best show ever. So I don't know. I'm sure we got some Swifties listening to the show. I mean, she's got 100 million. She's got 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify alone.
Yeah, more power.
It's crazy.
More power to you, Swifties. We're not hating. Yeah, I mean, I remember too, like 10 years ago or so, like around that area, Justin Bieber was that way. Not so much anymore, but I think that's because although he's still uber famous, I feel like he doesn't do his music as much anymore. He seems like he's almost kind of taken like a step out of the spotlight a little bit. So, and maybe that's a choice to be like, yeah, dude, my entire childhood and teenage years were fucking insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I could only tell you one Justin Bieber song still, and it was the very first one he came out with.
Baby.
You know? I feel like he's famous still, but like it's almost like Kiss. A lot of people, they know who Kiss is. They really can't name any songs from him.
Oh, well, I mean, I love Bieber post-puberty. I didn't listen to his shit until 2012 when his balls dropped. And he went a little bit more adult. It was more like hip hop influenced, and he started collaborating with like rappers and stuff that I liked. And I was like, and the content was just more adult. Like when he was a kid, I just didn't mess with it. I was like, this was made for like 12-year-old girls. I have no interest in it. But yeah, now every time he drops a new album, I check it out. He's always got great features on there. I mean, whether it's like Drake, Lil Dicky, Post Malone, like he gets anybody he wants when he does an album, and it's usually, I don't know, I really like it. But yeah, he's definitely kind of taken a step back. And like I said, I do think that was a conscious decision because he got married and everything. And it was kind of like, okay, well, I've got more money than fucking God. So, you know, what do I need to do? You don't really need to do anything at that point.
Yeah.
But also, before we get into this,
happy birthday, Rob Zombie's Halloween while we're recording this. And all you jackasses posting about it.
Fake fans.
I know you hate it. Don't be posting about it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to live, eat, sleep, shit, and breathe Rob Zombie to post about it, as far as I'm concerned.
You had to be there day one in theaters, and you had to not walk out of that theater and go, Rob Zombie destroyed Halloween. If you did that, you're not allowed to post about it. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to stop. And, you know, someone in the comment section is going to be like, Nick, isn't it like in the back half of your ranking? Yeah, but I love the Halloween franchise. The only one I don't really like is Resurrection. And 2, I was there opening night and at 12 years old, and I walked out of that theater like, that was fucking awesome. Like, so.
I rewatched it about a week ago. The only problem I have with it after watching it this time was just it's a little long. That's really it.
It is.
Because it's 2 movies put together, you know.
I was going back and watching Retro Rob interviews last night. Halloween and Halloween 2 interviews that he was giving when he was doing press for those movies, because I was going down this rabbit hole. He did it was so funny to watch the Halloween interviews because he's so upbeat and he's so like, you could tell he knew like, we got a hit on our hands. I got paid a lot of money to do this. Like the Halloween 2 interviews, dude, not at all. He does not seem like he wants to be there at all. Like you remember, we talked about it ad nauseum, just about how like exhausting making that movie was because of the interference with the studio and everything. Like by the time that movie was ready to come out, Rob was like, dude, I never want to see Michael Myers again. Like I'm so over this shit. But yeah, he was like giving an interview, and I remembered this interview, and I rewatched it again last night. And the interviewer is like, he's really kind, he's really nice, and he's asking questions, and Rob is like rocking and like fidgety the whole time, standing there when he's talking to him, and he's got his shades on, and like he just doesn't seem like he wants to be there. And the guy would ask a question, and Rob would go like, "Huh? Yeah, you know." Like he just was like, dude, I don't really care. Like you could just tell he didn't really care, which is a bummer because I know for a fact now, if you ask Rob, like which ones he's more proud of, it's Halloween 2. Like he's really proud of that movie, and he should be.
Well, I think he always probably was. It was just the Weinsteins, man. Like you heard the shit he talked about. He went on he told more stories on Howie Mandel's. I love Howie Mandel.
I rewatched that last night too. Yep.
And he was just like, dude, it's insane the shit that those guys did. Like they literally are psychopaths. You got one who's, you know, doing stuff to these poor broads, you know, to make them get roles in movies, and the other one literally is a fucking madman. You can't win with these. You can't win with these motherfuckers.
No, I always love hearing him say it in his Bob Weinstein impersonation too. And like when Halloween was done, he goes, Bob said, I hate every frame of this fucking movie. Yeah. And then when they went to shoot Halloween 2, he was like, right before we started filming, he sat me down with my Halloween and he goes, make it look like this fucking movie.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. Oh man.
Bob is like, just hearing the stories, like I'm scared of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I will say Bob's a horror fan. Like he always he was willing to pump out straight to DVD sequels. He did not give a shit. Yeah. Like even if we don't have a lot of money, but I want to make a sequel to this series. All right, we're doing it. We're doing
Revelations. He said, I love every fucking frame of this fucking movie.
Yep. But you know, Bob was just kind of an asshole, but at least he's not Harvey.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it just sucks to see how drained Rob was by the time H2 was done. And it sucks especially because he's got to go on a press tour. That's like part of the agreement.
Part of the job.
Yeah. And he's like, fucking come on. Like Sean Clark has talked. I mean, we talked about it when I had him on my channel like 2 years ago. He was like, dude, Rob was getting calls multiple times a day from Bob while they were shooting Halloween 2 saying, you can't do that. You don't do that. And Malik would then call Bob and be like, no, Rob has carte blanche. He can do whatever he wants. And it was just this whole infighting the entire fucking time.
Fuck, what was I going to say? I can't remember. Never mind. I can't remember. I lost it.
Let's just give a quick shout out to Malik Akkad. Shout out Malik because, and I mean that. That's honestly really cool. It's really cool that he told Rob, dude, I want you to come back for this one. And part of the agreement is do whatever you want. And he meant it. Like I remember when Halloween 2018 was coming out leading up to it, Malik gave an interview and he talked about the Rob Zombie era of movies. And he was like, you know, I'm very proud of those movies. Rob did his own thing. He had a very unique vision for those movies. And, you know, but after his second one, you know, they were done. So we had to restart again. But I love that. Malik never went back and shit talked those movies. And also during the time he told Rob for the second movie, it's all yours, dude. Do whatever the fuck you want. And that's awesome.
Yeah, I like Malik a lot. I mean, he you know, he's made a lot of money with the property, and I think his pops would be proud of him. And you know, he's got a lot to be proud of. So I cheers. I like Malik. He's good in my book. Yeah, I like him.
Well, what do you say we get into this list?
I'm ready.
All right,
Rob. When did the documentary come out?
Came out in 2004.
2004. Fuck, dude.
Yep. So it'll be 20 next year.
Jesus Christ.
In the first entry, we're going from 100 to 1, although it says 99, which is weird because when I was watching it, this was listed as 100. So I don't know if there's just a duplicate or we'll find out.
Somehow the audience will survive.
Yeah. First one from least to most. 28 days later, the scene where Jim meets Selena and Mark, and a person who's been infected bursts in from outside and attacks them. I'll just give you my thoughts. I don't like this movie, so
I feel like I can't escape this movie. Like no matter what list we look at, it's always there. And unlike Session 9, where I get why people really like it, I'll never understand why people like 28 Days Later. It looks like it's shot on an Atari. It looks like garbage. It's boring as shit. Something happens every 28 minutes later.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a terrible film. It's a terrible film.
Yeah.
I don't understand. The only thing that's good about it, I'd even say great, is the soundtrack. It's got a great theme. Great theme song.
It does. But yeah, the movie on the whole, I just think is just booty.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's trash. It's a shame that that theme song got wasted on that piece of shit.
Yeah, and people want a third one still to this day. Y'all can have it. Next one, Creep Show, and it's specifically the fifth story of Pratt with the cockroaches. It's specifically the moment when the cockroaches burst out of his body. I don't know if I'd say like, oh my God, that was so scary, but that shit was disgusting, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you look at Creep Show, everything's charming with Fluffy and even Father's Day, the dad coming out the grave. He's this real bulky, thick skeleton, and it's just cool looking. But those are cockroaches. So I mean, if I was gonna have to deal with anything in that movie, the last thing I would, because cockroaches just are nasty. You feel like if they get on you, you're infected somehow. They're just disgusting animals. That's terrible name, cockroaches. You know the fuck.
Yeah,
I'll give that a pass.
I can agree with it too. The next one is from a movie called Cat People from 1942.
Oh, the original Cat People. Okay.
Where Alice is walking to a bus stop and hears footsteps, and then she ends up realizing that somebody's chasing her. And yeah.
I'm familiar. That's a great movie. The original Cat People is very good. It's different from the remake, which I love, and Malcolm McDowell's in that. It's fucking amazing in that movie. But I like Cat People. I mean, I like some of those old 40s and 30s movies. Cat People's great. Murders in the Rue Morgue is fucking amazing. I'll give Cat People a thumbs up. That's a great pick.
Next one is The Birds, the scene where Melanie's in the phone booth.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's an all.
I mean, you gotta respect that. You know, only Hitchcock could make a movie called The Birds, and it's like when you say it, it's the most B thing you'd ever hear in your life. What's the movie called? The Birds. No. What's it really called? You know, that's probably the reaction you would get. But with Hitchcock, The Birds has like reverence to it when you say it.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I just don't know how you could argue that. Like you see, I mean, any horror documentary, or I just feel like that moment or stills from that moment are just like they're all over the place. Like
all over the place.
Yeah. So
they're coming.
Yeah. I think we both agree there.
Yeah.
This next one's interesting, but because a lot of people argue about whether this is a horror movie or not. I think it has a lot of horror elements, but the next one is Jurassic Park, and it is the scene with the raptors in the kitchen.
Super suspenseful for sure. I mean, technically, you know, the list is about scary movie moments, so I guess you could say it doesn't necessarily have to be a horror movie. My thing is this: it's just like you could. I almost wonder if you could really give the term horror some subjectivity, because like what is a horror movie? You know, like people can look at me and say Silence of the Lambs is not a horror film, and I'll be like, okay, well, it fucking terrified me more than 95% of anything I'd ever seen.
Oh, it's all subjective, right? I mean, it just means, well, what is horrifying to you? Like, what horrifies you?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, I think the definition of horror that I've read before is like something that evokes a dark emotion. And to me, I've never heard of a better definition for Silence of the Lambs than that. Now, people could say it's a thriller. Get the fuck out. I hate that term. What does that mean? The movie's thrilling? Okay, that's an adjective. What are we talking about here? Like, sometimes, again, this is the older I get, the less I can stand to muster shit like this. And I'm not just saying I'm right, take my word, but I'm just telling you, like, the older I get, the less I can say I can meet you in the middle with some of this bullshit. And that is one of them. Silence of the Lambs isn't a horror film. Go fuck yourself.
There you go. Go fuck yourself.
What was the movie that we just brought up, though?
Jurassic Park, the kitchen scene.
I mean, to me, the T-Rex, when they get their Jeep flipped over, is the worst.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're fucked.
Also, I think the moment that lived rent-free in my head as a kid, it was two moments. It was the Dilophosaurus opening its like neck and spitting all over the dude.
The fat guy? Oh, yeah. God, that terrified me.
Yeah, and then it was also the dude on the shitter getting eaten by the T-Rex.
Oh, because you're so vulnerable. I mean,
you're already on the shitter. Yeah, like, come on.
That's the best shitter. Like, I think that might be one of the best shitter kill scenes ever. Not part 5 of Friday the 13th. That's good, but come on, man.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park kind of one upped it right there.
Absolutely.
So
the next one is from 1990. It's a movie called Pacific Heights, starring Michael Keaton. And
okay, I know this one.
Is Patty comes back to find Carter Hayes waiting for her.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, I saw the movie one time. I don't even remember that specific scene, but that movie would have never come to mind for me on this list. So this next one you'll like. Child's Play.
Okay.
It is the scene where Andy's mom is threatening to throw Chucky in the fireplace, and Chucky comes to life.
As a kid, I would absolutely agree with that, but now it's the most hysterical. It really is the most hysterical scene I've ever seen in my life.
Yes,
because he immediately goes Rob Zombie on her. It's the most Rob Zombie scene I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, nobody wanted to shit on old Tom Holland in 1988 and call him redneck white trash, huh? But Rob Zombie does it. Yeah.
I'll teach you to fuck with me is like the most Southern expression I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm. So thumbs up on that one.
Yeah, I mean, because this is how I'll play this too, because I think this is fair. If I don't think the scene is really scary at all, but if as a kid I think I got to give it a pass, especially since this came out when I was like
I would say
13.
I would say that these scary moments kind of make us too. So we do have to look at it from that lens, like at the time when we first saw it. So
I don't think that's the scariest moment of the film, though. To me, the scariest moment of the film is clearly when Andy is on his ass backpedaling, and you've got that completely burned doll with that one bright blue eye looking at him. That haunted me, and he's got the knife above his head.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that shit fucked me up as a kid. That's one of my favorite shots of the entire film, and I wish they would make. I mean, people have talked now. Trick or Treat Studios is losing the license to Universal stuff, so I've been telling people go get them Halloween 3 masks if you want them and shit. But I'd love a replica of that. That burnt doll, completely burnt up, dude. It's terrifying. So that's the scariest moment of that film to me.
Sorry, there's a fucking train. I was hearing. I was like, is that a train?
I couldn't hear it. Yeah.
All right. Next one, the original Village of the Damned from 1960. Mm-hmm. And the scene they're referencing is Gordon putting up the mental brick wall to cover up his plan to suicide bomb the children, and they all try to break it down.
See, my grandma raised me on that. I remember we watched that, and then I watched that and the Carpenter one. The Carpenter's got some creepy shit in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. I mean, I'll give it a pass. I'll give it a thumbs up. I respect it.
I can respect it. I wouldn't put it on my list, but I respect it.
No.
Next one, movie called Shallow Grave from 1994.
Mm-hmm.
When the three of them have to bury and dismember their dead roommate in the woods.
You know what, dude? That's a good movie. Shallow Grave is a good movie. That needs some kind of physical media release too. I definitely give that a pass. I need to watch. God damn it, dude! I haven't said that title of that movie out loud to myself in a while. Great. I need to rewatch it.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I've never seen it.
I'm gonna see if it's streaming. You can keep going. I'm just gonna see if it's streaming anywhere. I tell people.
The next one is from 1955. It's called The Night of the Hunter.
I've seen this movie.
The scene they're referencing is Harry Powell terrorizing the children about the location of the heist money.
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh, but the kids were so frightened.
I gotta give it a thumbs down. My grandma made me watch a lot of this shit as a kid, man.
Okay, next one, Alice, Sweet Alice. Karen looks for Alice in a big and creepy abandoned warehouse, only to have her jump out wearing a mask.
Yes, that's a great movie. Fucking amazing. That's a great. That that is something you can talk about as a important precursor to Halloween, for sure. Alice, Sweet Alice gets all the respect in the world, and that is still a good movie. So I think the whole movie's creepy. I definitely give that movie a pass. Thumbs up on that.
There you go.
Credit for that being on this list.
The next one is from 1956, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. When Miles kisses Becky and discovers she's now one of them. I think it's a great moment.
We got a poster of that in the bedroom. My wife loves some old 50s posters. That's fine. If you give it a pass, I'll give it a pass.
I give it a pass just because I think that, although I think a lot of people go to the remake more than the 56 movie, I just think that moment, I don't know if I would be like, oh my God, it's so horrifying, but I do think it is like I don't know. I mean, the shit Halloween 3 kind of copied it in ways. So yeah, I would agree.
I like that remake a lot too with Goldblum. It's really good.
Next one is Black Christmas, and it is the scene of Claire being suffocated with the plastic wrap and her body being propped up against the window. And then they also mention the glass unicorn sequence and Billy's phone calls. So really, this is just more about this movie because they listed like 3 or 4 different scenes. I mean, yeah, I don't think you can make a top 100 horror movies, scariest movie moments list, whatever it might be, without putting Black Christmas on.
I think the phone calls are the worst, to be honest with you.
Dude, 1974. Some of the shit that he was saying. Disgusting. I mean, you want to talk about Rob Zombie. You want to talk about Rob Zombie. Billy straight out of a Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always been this rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. And of course, it's all speculation. It's all fake because it's movies anyway. But I don't know if the intent was there on the creators that the dad in the older guy in The Rise of Leslie Vernon. That Leslie Vernon, I forget the character's name. Leslie Vernon, that old guy that he gets mentored from. That's supposed to be Billy from Black Christmas. I've seen this all the time on the internet.
Is that just like a conspiracy theory?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember if it was talked about from the creator of the film and he was doing it as a fun thing because I don't think he could legally call it that. But there's all this speculation that he was supposed to be that I read. I never paid too much attention to it. It would be headlines. But somebody in the chat or somebody let me know if the creator of the movie actually intended it to be interpreted that way or not. But people are like, that's supposed to be Billy that Leslie Vernon's getting mentored from in that movie. I'm like, really? That's cool if it is, but I don't know. I hear it all the time.
Interesting little tie-in. The next one. I want you to think of yourself as a kid for this one, because as soon as I saw this, I was like, what? And then I read what they put, and I was like, oh, shit. The Wizard of Oz, the Flying Monkeys. As a kid, those things were fucking horrifying, dude.
Yeah. Dude, oh yeah. I remember that might have been one of the very first like memories I have of being alive. You know, it's like one of those core memories of watching that movie on VHS. And that yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. You have to give credit to that.
Yeah, they also mentioned the witch. She never really creeped me out. It was those monkeys, dude.
Did you see on Shudder the Cursed Films episode on that?
I watched part of it. I didn't finish the episode.
It's great.
I need to go back to that because I was enjoying that.
It's such a good series, and they did one on what's that Wes Craven film? I love it. Nobody talks about it. Serpent and the Rainbow, and they did an episode on it because Wes really took everybody over there. I forgot where they filmed it, but those were real villagers and shit in that movie. And what was interesting is Wes Craven's kid was in it talking about it. He kind of was talking about how his dad really wasn't a good dad. Not that he was a bad person, but he was like, dude, he movies came first. He didn't really raise us kids that much. And I thought it was just interesting that because I don't think that guy's ever really had the chance to speak that before. So I don't know. But yeah, the Wizard of Oz episode is really good. They talk about all the drunk ass munchkins in that movie and shit.
So the next one, I don't know if I have not seen it. This might be another one you were forced to watch. It's from 1964. It's called Blood and Black Lace.
Yes, Alice Cooper has a song called that.
I do know the song, yes, but I've never seen the movie. And it is specifically the woman in the red coat, Isabella, is killed by the unseen killer out of total darkness.
I don't think Alice has a song called that. It's Roses on White Lace is what I'm thinking of. But I've seen the movie. No, I don't think it's scary at all.
So thumbs down for you?
Thumbs down.
Okay, the next one from 86, Blue Velvet. Great movie. And the scene in Blue Velvet is Frank first appears and assaults Dorothy while repeatedly saying, "Mommy."
Dude.
It's a really messed up moment.
Yeah, so you've seen some David Lynch. Yeah, that is I didn't see Blue Velvet till about 3 years ago when I started getting into David Lynch.
Same, but I wasn't getting into David Lynch. I saw it because
the movie,
YouTube. Yeah. People were like, "You need to watch it."
It's one of the more straight ahead movies he's done, you know. But you got Dennis Hopper in there. He's fucking insane. And yeah, absolutely give points to that. So far, some of this list is like surprisingly with like how, it's not like, I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of the mainstay stuff, but like, yeah, like they're actually going into the record books for this.
Well, there's a couple, these next few that I'm interested to talk about for sure. Next one is the moment in The Others when Grace finds her daughter possessed by the spirits.
I love this movie. Here's the thing. I don't know what happened, but like The Others has this shitty reputation now. And I'm thinking to myself, all I remember is when this movie came out, everybody was talking about it and in a good way. And Criterion is actually putting it out this October, and I can't wait. I haven't watched this movie in a number of years, but it's in what's the word I'm looking for? It's ingrained in my brain, my memory, and that movie is incredible. It scared the absolute shit out of me as a kid. I can't wait to revisit it.
And a funny story about that movie, Christian, is I remember when it first came out. And we went to Blockbuster like 3 weeks in a row, and they were all rented. My mom really wanted to see it, so we had to wait like weeks until there was one available for us to rent. We watched it as a family, and it scared the shit out of me.
What does that tell you? I mean, dude, that was a big. If you were around at the time, you know how big it was. It was one of the biggest movies. 2001, there was some fucking hits and horror. Signs. Jeepers Creepers, And I don't think
That's really when the rebirth of horror started to begin, I think. Really.
at least a jump start, because if you were alive and around for that year, 2001, it was a blockbuster year for the genre. And I didn't realize it at the time because I was just a kid watching movies. But this is when stuff was this is pre daily life internet. So people like, dude, the word of mouth of people talking about The Others and Jeepers Creepers was like, I was terrified of these movies before I even seen them. Because my friends, we'd rally around together in the monkey bars and like, this movie's like, dude, it's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. Have you seen the Others yet? And I'm like, and I remember we watched, my family, dude, what a great year. 2001 for some movies were a great year. Obviously, there were some horrible shit that went on in 2001, 9/11 and stuff. But in terms of horror, dude, I think 2001 is one of the best years of the 2000s when you look at it. I mean, 3 movies right then that still have staying power: The Others, Signs, and Jeepers Creepers. So, The Others definitely deserves to be on this list. I massive thumbs up to that.
I agree. Next one is the "I'll be back" moment in Terminator.
I don't know. I've never been the biggest fan of Terminator 1. It's interesting because a lot of horror fans, they try to say, Terminator is the best movie. Come on. Terminator 2 is one of the greatest films ever made. Horror or not, call it I can't agree with this. I'll tell you why. This movie makes zero fucking sense to me. He has to go back to fuck her. How did this ripple happen in the first place?
Well,
make it make sense.
I can't make it make sense, but I know someone in the comments is going to try.
Try.
But yeah, I agree. I think G2 is far better.
This guy shows up fucking naked, beats up a homeless man or some shit. I don't think he beats him up. Takes the clothes. He might have beat him up. I don't remember. Throws on this dingy ass coat, then fucks her to have this kid that's going to save the world. Well, how did they figure out that he needed to do that? Where I need somebody to give me the equation to how that makes sense. You know what I mean? So
guys, type out the math formula down below.
I like Terminator, but that is so blaringly bizarre to me. I can't do it. I got to give it a thumbs down.
I do too. Next one is from the moment in The Howling where Terry finds Eddie in werewolf form. Totally agree. Totally agree.
That's absolutely agree. And for all you people that try to tell me that American Werewolf in London is better, you're never going to get it. The Howling is Joe Dante is way better of a director than, Mr. Twilight Zone ever could be. Landis, son of a bitch, should be in jail to this very day if you want my opinion on it. Good director, but fucking kids died in vain, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
So we agree. We agree then.
Yeah, a great movie.
Next one, Poltergeist. Multiple moments from it. Just quick. The doll, they're here. The chairs stacking up. The head coming out of the closet. Yeah, any of those moments. I can just tell you from my experience. I don't know if it happened the last time. I haven't watched Poltergeist in a couple years, but I still remember almost every time I watch it. There's just moments in that movie that literally still give me goosebumps. Like I don't know what it is. Like we talked about this in the podcast before. The scene of that like white like ghost apparition coming down the steps and stuff, and like the way that shot, the way it's scored, it just creeps me the fuck out. Still, yeah. It's just creepy. So yes, Poltergeist absolutely belongs.
Yeah, I mean, I got the 4K when it came out a year or so ago, and I was like, this is gonna be the first time I've watched this movie in a number of years, and my memory was just way off on it. And there's some really great shit. And to me, it's very much a Toby Hooper film. I used to think that maybe Spielberg really did direct it, but watching it again, to me, it's clear that's Toby's film. Because they got a lot of people say Steven Spielberg
Yeah,
really
and
ghost directed it.
they're full of shit. I don't know. And I know we're gonna get somebody in the comments that says no, it was definitely Spielberg. No, it wasn't. That is watch enough Toby Hooper and watch enough Spielberg. It is absolutely Hooper's movie. Absolutely.
Well, it's got that Spielberg shine for sure. It's got that big shine that he has. But I mean, when Mick Garris, who I adore as a human and as a director and a writer, when he goes, I was fucking on set because Mick Garris, this dude goes back he was on the set of every movie back in the day because he was working for press and journalism and stuff in the 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, I was on set. Like, I was on the fucking set of Poltergeist. I'm telling you, that's Toby's movie, you know? But the problem is, Nick, this is the problem. He got really bad off on drugs during that time. So after that, his movies got really like Life Force is one of the most amazing films I've ever seen, but it's so drug fueled that like I think people look at, you know, that, and then they look at the grittiness of like a Funhouse, and Poltergeist does stick out. But I mean, look, it's under that Spielberg umbrella. It's gonna have that shine, but no, that's Toby's movie. You could see just from the humor, it's Toby's film.
Mm-hmm. The next one is from Dracula 31, and it is when you first meet Dracula walking through the spider webs.
I mean, it's just cool. It's not scary.
No, it's not scary. It iconic 100%, but scary. I would not put that on 100 scariest.
No, I got a thumb. I got a thumbs down that.
Okay, the next one I haven't seen. Maybe you have.
Okay,
it's a movie called The Brood from 1979.
Oh yes, The Brood.
And the scene they're talking about is Nola licking the blood off of one of her rage babies.
Yes. Okay. I can't remember who put that up. It's Warner Archive or something. I've got a blue. No, that's The Hunger I'm thinking of. The Brood is good. Great film.
So you agree?
Absolutely agree. I'm impressed. I'm impressed that that's on here.
Well, this next one I think should be far higher than 77. But whatever. And I know you're going to agree. Signs. When we first see the alien at the birthday party.
Oh, fuck.
You're talking like...
That's a joke nowadays to people, though.
Yes, but the first time you watch that movie, I know you know too. You're like, what the
My heart was beating out of my chest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Deserves to be higher than 77.
Again, I just got to reiterate, because I know we're doing good. We're at 40 minutes. We're already knocked out 30. If you lived that movie when it was coming out, just the idea of the movie, hearing about it was fucking terrifying. Just the way people, I'm telling you, it really bums me out that people look at Shyamalan's film. I kind of give him a hard time. I don't think he's done anything great in a while, admittedly. I like those Split movies and what's that Bruce Willis stuff he did? Not Sixth Sense.
That's Unbreakable.
That stuff's great. You know, all that stuff's great, but I don't think he's made a great movie in years. Even when he took giant risks and did stuff like the Village, which has its haters and people that loved it. I happen to love it, but it's got people that really vehemently dislike it. But that was a Shyamalan movie, and that was stuff nowadays.
Would you say greatest Shyamalan? Because I would.
Signs, without question. I think that's one of Mel Gibson's best performances. He was so good in that, and Joaquin,
Haley Joel Osment,
dude. And then you got Rory. Is that his name? Rory Culkin, or was that a different Culkin?
Or was I wrong? No, you're right. That was
Rory.
That was Rory. And okay, yeah, okay.
Great movie.
What is it? Was it Rory?
I think it's Rory Culkin.
Okay, so
it's a Culkin. I know that.
Yes, that was Rory. You're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking, Rory as a kid looked like Haley Joel Osment. That's wild. And then Abigail Breslin, who actually went on, she was, in the Zombieland movies and shit. She was a little girl, yeah.
And she was creepy. She remember that scene in the beginning where she when Mel opens up his eyes, his face is right by the camera.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, I can't go to sleep. Can you get me a glass of water? And he leans up out of his bed, and you see the silhouette of the alien up there. And then the music just goes, dum. And it's, dude, oh my, I remember I'm sure your mom did the same thing.
Oh, still
My
does.
mom would, and that would scare me when my mom would do that.
Yep. Especially if you're watching a movie with her that she's never seen, but you've seen it. So you're not like totally paying attention and a moment scares her. You're like, fucking what? Yep.
That's the number one scariest moment for me as a kid is my mom's reaction. She would fucking terrify me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
We agree. Next one. They list multiple scenes on here, so we'll just say the movie as a whole. The Evil Dead.
Yes, because I think Evil Dead is actually a lot like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sam and Toby will both look up interviews. They'll both tell you the movie's hysterical.
Yeah.
Audience don't think it's hysterical.
No.
Neither one of them, you know.
That's the scariest Evil Dead movie.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. You know, I don't think it's the best. I think it's a great movie. You know, I think it's a great. I actually, besides Rise, they're all 5-star films to me, which may sound a little fanboyish, but you got to give respect to the Evil Dead. I mean, that's that's one of the last, when you think about it, that's one of those last real independent films from that time that started a revolution in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I guess the next one I could think of after that would be like the Blair Witch, right? Like just a nothing burger movie. But when you look at Evil Dead, like that really was a nothing. These kids made the movie the same way John did, the same way Toby did. No money, barely nothing, but they blitzed the world with these fucking movies. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Evil Dead gets a thumbs up. I need to watch the first. I haven't watched the first one in a while.
Same.
I need to watch it.
Next is Candyman. And it is the moment where he opens the coat and it's covered in bees. I mean, you could pick multiple moments from this movie, but yeah, I would agree. It gets a thumbs up for me.
To me, the scariest moment of that movie is when he rips the doctor from behind. Comes out of nowhere. He starts coughing up that blood. That's the scariest part of that movie to me.
Well, I'm glad we agree on that one because the next one is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, no. Hard agree. I guarantee you it's the scene where they're in the ferry.
It's it says the tunnel scene.
Yeah, they're on a oh, dude, that fucking
Okay.
When they cut the chicken's head off and that shit terrified me.
Okay, I guess. I won't argue. Now, this one I haven't seen. Blood Simple.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. Next one is a movie from 1954 called Them.
I haven't seen that.
Me neither.
It's a pass. I've seen They, which I think was like a Wes Craven Presents film.
They/Them.
Something like that.
No, I know. The next one is The Sixth Sense. It's the I see dead people moment.
Oh, yeah. Dude, again.
How could you even argue? You know?
Again. You know what scared me in that movie the most? You remember when that was the part of that movie? He made his little religion hut.
Mm-hmm.
And he hops in it at one point and he hits the lamp or whatever, or took some, and there's a girl in there gagging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Whew. Ugh. Yeah. No, I don't
that
like
movie.
that.
The thing about The Sixth Sense too, as a kid, dude, it was the most uncomfortable watch ever. And remember the part where him and Bruce are in the school and they're talking,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "What's wrong, kid? Like, what's the problem?" He goes, "You don't see him." And there's people hanging in the fucking Jesus Christ.
Yep.
And that's, dude, you know what's funny? I told my wife, I was like, Sydney, it's funny because like it's like that was my first experience with Toni Collette. Then I didn't really see, I didn't remember seeing anything from her again until Hereditary. Obviously, she was acting, but it's weird. She goes, "That wasn't Toni Collette." I said, "Yeah, it was."
Yeah,
goes,
and you know what? Funny you mentioned that because I didn't realize until years later that the opening was Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was freaky, dude. He showed up
skinny and sickly. I was like, Donnie? Yeah. That's not Donnie.
Yeah. It's weird too because, like, correct me if I'm wrong, he like cleanly and properly like folded his clothes up and set them on the sink, like his pants and shit. Like his clothes were folded evenly and nicely, and they were just set on the sink. And he pulls out a gun. Like, what the fuck? That it's just like stuff like that. I don't know what that was supposed to symbolize, but it made me uncomfortable.
Then it did its job. The next one is The Stepfather from 1987.
Fuck, that movie's incredible.
It is very good. And it's when Stephanie walks in on Jerry having a meltdown.
I give the movie a pass, but no, to me, the scariest part of the movie is the very beginning, where the whole house is foggy and there's blood everywhere and bodies literally on the ground. And as you watch it, you're like, why the fuck is the house foggy? And there's blood everywhere. Then you realize you go upstairs and he's taking a hot shower and shaving his face and completely changing his look. And you realize this guy just changes his appearance and he charms his way. I mean, that's a brilliant serial killer movie. Brilliant. If you haven't seen The Stepfather, people, the remake is okay at best, but it does not hold a candle to the original Stepfather from 87. It's a fucking incredible movie.
Coming in at number 69, Christian. Good placement. The head scene from Reanimator. Yeah, are you going to give pushback on this one?
Well, I mean, it's just a comedy. It's a comedy.
Yeah, but okay, but
that's Charlie Band's, like, all his stuff was
moment though.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up, but look, I'm a Charlie Band connoisseur, right? I really am. The guy's one of my heroes. I learned everything. I learn everything I can. I read the guy's books. He approaches everything with a sense of humor, and to me, it's a comedy. Like, so, I remember the first time I watched it. Granted, I wasn't a kid. Maybe if I was a kid, it would have brutalized me. To be fair, but I'll shut up. It's just, to me, his movies are all just charming, funny, comedy horror films. But as a kid, maybe it would terrify me. So I'm gonna give him a pass because it's Charlie. But
have you seen a movie?
Come on, they grab the head and they start to put it between Barbara's legs.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's like, poor Barbara. I guarantee you she regrets. I don't know. She's a good sport about it because, it was like the Wild West back then. But I was just like, fuck, man.
So the next one is a movie from 1934 called The Black Cat.
Oh, fuck yes.
And it's when the doctor is flaying Polzig alive.
Yes. Dude, The Black Cat is...
Never seen it.
It's great. Fulci did a movie called The Black Cat too. That's fucking insane. So good. You would think it'd be the most boring shit ever just by the title, but his bodies fucking fall off of buildings in The Black Cat. Yes, I give a pass. Some of these old movies, I'm telling you, Nick, some of them are actually like daringly good. They're not just like those boring,
dude. The thing about it is, my grandpa would have us watch old movies too, but they were old westerns and war movies. They weren't old horror movies. So I saw a bunch of old westerns and war movies, black and white movies growing up. But with them being very like ultra Christian conservative, like they didn't watch horror.
Right.
So the next one is Duel from 1971.
Steven, yeah.
Yes, and it is the scene where the trucker tries to force David onto the railroad tracks.
Edge of your seat kind of scene. I'll give that
it's like a sweaty palms.
Yeah. Good movie. I wonder if that's getting some new physical media release soon. I think I might have heard something about it.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. I figured you'd know.
I think it might have already gotten something. I just can't remember. So much shit comes out.
The next one is from 1976, Marathon Man.
I haven't seen that. I know about it. I have not seen it.
Same.
What's the premise though?
It doesn't tell me. It just says Marathon Man, and then it says, "Is it safe?" That's all it says. So I guess that's a moment in the movie.
Sounds interesting.
Next one is from 1976 called The Tenant. And
fucking Roman Polansky.
Yeah, okay, so you would know then. The moment is Trelkovsky finds a tooth in the wall.
No, it's just fucking boring. Like, listen, take Polansky's crimes away from him. Pretend he has the cleanest slate in the world, people. His shit is boring as fuck to me. The only good movie he's ever made, in my opinion, is the I know it sounds funny when I say this, but The Pianist. That movie's incredible. The Pianist is so fucking good. But The Sentinel, Tenant, it's just boring trash to me. I'm sorry. Polansky fans. But you gonna listen to a podcast where people just kind of talk about facts and stuff and be like,
I'm not a fan of him at all. Not even just
Yeah.
because, I mean, obviously he's a reprehensible human, but
that didn't bother. Like, I can separate art from the artist, and I know that's something some people they don't do that, and that's fine. You know, I I can do that because it's not movie making is a collaborative art.
you're just
So
saying you just think he's boring. His movies are boring.
his movies are boring. Like literally, Rosemary's Baby. The only interesting thing. Listen to me, Nick. I'm telling you this. The only interesting thing about Rosemary's Baby is at the very end of the film, where you see this one guy kind of turn and look at the kid.
Yeah.
That guy became a world famous cult leader.
Yeah, I know. Which is really, really interesting.
Watch the documentary. It'll fuck you up, but it's called Holy Hell. It's about him. And dude, he did some of the most disgusting things I've ever heard of as a human being. Only watch it, people, if you can stomach what power and corruption can do to somebody. But this guy had total manipulation over people in the worst way possible, mentally, sexually. It's one of the hardest watches I've ever seen. But that's the only interesting thing about that piece of shit movie.
Yeah, I don't really like Rosemary.
I'm getting ornery tonight, but
good. Next one is Near Dark. And it is the moment where Severine terrorizes the bartender.
I mean, Catherine Bigelow's a great director. That's a great scene, but it's more entertaining than anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We talked about this from the jump. You know, when it's coming to subjectivity, was it horrifying to you? No, it was not.
It was actually the scene's kind of cool, to be honest with you, because Paxton is just like, it's like no fucks given. In that scene. So I can't really give it a thumbs up, but respect for bringing it up, because that's people talk about Near Dark and Lost Boys, and a lot of they're starting to get a lot of people say, but what about Near Dark? And they're right. They talk about Fright Night and Lost Boys, and a lot of people are starting to say, well, what about Near Dark? And the movie's buried, for some legal reason. It can't get physical media. It can't, and it's not on TV. So people don't talk about it, but dude, it really is a great movie. I mean, it's got Lance Henriksen and Bill Paxton in it, and it's got Tim Thomerson, who did a lot of Charlie Band films. He was he's the Jack Death from Trancers. It's a great movie, but it's not really scary. It's kind of a love story too. So I mean, love the movie, but I can't say it's scary.
Yeah. Next one is the redneck assault from Deliverance.
That did fuck me up.
Yeah.
It's just uncomfortable, man. And if you're uncomfortable, it's scary to be uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
So, got to give that a shot of praise.
Yeah, I agree. The next one is the transformation scene in the 1941 The Wolfman.
No.
Scary? No. Memorable? Yeah, but not scary.
Really cool. My wife, she loves the original Wolfman. She got some poster from that the other day, hung that in the wall. Our whole bedroom is nothing but Universal Monster theme. It's cool. She loves that shit.
Next one. Devil's Backbone.
Oh, I love this movie.
Exploring the basement scene and feels the dead boy's presence.
Yes, dude. That's a great movie.
I'm
surprised it's on there.
I saw that movie one time when I was like 11.
It's a good movie.
My mom likes it. I can't remember much from it, so I can't really speak to it.
I'm impressed. Some of these are impressive to me. Who am I to say it's impressive, right?
I mean, you got quite a vast knowledge of some of these older movies. So if you think it's impressive, it's probably impressive. This one is the next one that's actually on my Giallo watch, so I can't speak to it. But Christian, it is from The Beyond when Alex bursts out of the bathtub.
Let me tell you, that's not the scariest scene of the movie. I'm super excited for you to watch this movie, though. The scariest shit in The Beyond. I'll set it up very vaguely because I don't want to spoil it, but it really doesn't matter because, like I've told you, Lucio doesn't operate in reality. Shit just happens in his movies. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense. But there's this nightmarish scene where this person literally just drops down in this laboratory room and a glass jar tips over and this burning fluid is dripping on the person's face and their face is just and it's a close-up shot of it. and it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
You just
The
said
Beyond.
you just said Lucio, and it reminded me of why there's only 99 on this list.
Why?
Because number 99 is it's I'll say I don't know why it's not on the list, but it's on the documentary. So I just realized which one they're missing. They're on this list. No, it was Zombie. It was it's the eyeball moment.
That's scarier than anything that's been mentioned.
Yes. No. Yeah. And I remember it's at like the beginning of the documentary. So I don't know why it's not on the IMDb list, but yes, that was the one that was left out.
Yeah. I'm serious. I can't wait for you to check that out. The Beyond is incredible, but you need to see City of the Living Dead too, because that shit's even grosser.
All that shit's on Shudder, I believe.
Yeah.
Or Tubi. It's all on all that. So
yeah, the Beyond and City of the Living Dead are amazing.
Next one is Fatal Attraction, when Glenn Close cooks the bunny.
It's a great movie, you know. I guess you could say that because, again, the harm of an animal is very uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm just for me the wind blows to. She is the scariest part of the movie.
Yes.
You know?
Not necessarily what she's doing.
Yeah, so I'll give it a pass, but I gotta change the reasoning, which is kind of by the rules I'm playing by, I guess.
Next one is Cujo, when Donna and her son are attacked by the dog inside the car. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a classic moment.
I love that movie, and it's bullshit that not enough people recognize Cujo. I don't know. I think they just think, oh, it's a movie about a dog. Not really. I'm not interested.
Yeah,
but it's actually a really good movie, and
that was my favorite King adaptation growing up.
Oh, same. And I was watching Eureka, which is a Region B company, put out a nice release of Cujo, and Dee Wallace claimed that she called Stephen King, who did the screenplay for the movie, too, I guess, and she said, "You got to change the ending. Kid's got to live." And Stephen was like, "You think so?" And she goes, "The kid has to live." I prefer that he dies. I mean, because King that's ballsy for the kid to be in that car the whole time, and then he dies, and then they change it to where he lives. I wish the kid would have died in the movie. But yeah, I guess Dee Wallace had some pull even back then. She had no problem calling Stephen King and being like, "No, we're changing your ending, bitch."
All right, so we agree. The next one is the original House of Wax, when Sue tries to fight back against Professor Jared and knock the mask off.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know that I've ever watched the original House of Wax.
I have not, but I have seen that scene. I have seen that scene when the mask comes off. I've definitely seen that scene.
I've heard
a lot of people say the remake is better. So, like, I don't even know if there's a need to ever go back.
I mean, it's a fun it's fun. I love the remake.
Next one is from a movie called Single White Female.
Oh, this is a great thriller. 92.
Oh, God. Allie sees Hetty come down the stairs with the same exact hairdo as her.
Yes, dude. So I remember I was just going on Scream Factory's website and just like they had a sale. And I was just like, let me see what titles I don't own that I could get cheap. And I saw that movie and I had never heard of it. This was during that explosion of, post Silence of the Lambs. Thrillers, as you will, and that was a movie I was like, oh, I haven't heard of this. Let me grab this. And Nick, I'm telling you, that movie takes twists and turns. You wouldn't expect. It's smart. It's really, really good. It's really good.
Okay.
Definite thumbs up.
Your word for it. Next one. Totally agree with this. Simply just the premise of the movie is why it's on the list. The Vanishing from 1988. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my God.
I've not seen this.
It's a buried alive movie. It's a buried alive movie. It's just like The
Vanishing.
It's just like buried with Ryan Reynolds. And then there's
I've seen that.
Yes,
I've seen that.
Okay, hold on. Because this is I want to say
my keyboard ain't working. I was going to try to type in The Vanishing to look at it.
Okay, yes. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking the American version. That the 88 version is the Dutch version. The American version came out in 93 with Kiefer Sutherland, which is a fucking awesome movie. Where Kiefer Sutherland is buried alive.
It's called The Vanishing.
The Vanishing.
Dude, I haven't.
Dude.
Because I figured if it came out in 88, I've seen almost every movie from that.
It's probably the role I remember Kiefer Sutherland for. And I know it was, Lost Boys, 24. No, like I watched this movie as a kid, and it is probably a reason why being buried alive is my number one fear. Like the worst way to die.
I got to look this up.
It's good. 93. So they put the 88 Dutch version on here, which I have not seen, but I have seen the American version from 93 with Kiefer Sutherland.
Deutsch.
It's good, man.
The douche version.
Yeah. The next one is The Changeling. When John tosses his dead daughter's ball into the river and sees the same ball fall down the stairs.
Yes. George C. Scott, enough said. Great performer. Makes you scared. God bless.
Next one is Demons. When the crowd witnesses a victim turning into a demon.
You would love this movie, I'm telling you. Add that to your Italian list. It's not a giallo, obviously, but it's Evil Dead as a zombie film.
I know Brandon talks about Demons too all the time, so
it's great too, but it's zanier. It's more Charlie Band kind of. Yeah, so I give a definite pass to Demons.
Okay, I'm interested to hear what you think about this one. Okay. I know that this moment and this movie as a whole are like incredibly iconic. It is the famous unmasking scene in the original The Phantom of the Opera. Again, I feel like this is one of those instances where iconic, yes. Terrifying, I don't know.
I mean, it probably ruined audiences during its day, but I'll give it a thumbs up.
Okay. I'm trying to move a little bit quicker on these. Sorry, listeners, because there are 100. The next one is The Dead Zone, when the deputy kills himself with the scissors.
Yes, that's a fucking incredible. Deborah Hill produced.
Yes.
Oddly enough. Great movie. One of my favorite Stephen Kings, too.
R.I.P. Deborah. The next one is... Okay. The Last House on the Left. The original. I prefer the remake. Christian does as well. But, it's super fucked up. So I don't really know how you... Like, I'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah. Definite thumbs up. I think I might actually like Last House's original more than Hills Have Eyes' original.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I really don't like the original Hills Have Eyes.
I mean, it's. I like Michael.
Yeah,
Berryman.
Yeah. The guy they didn't no makeup needed.
Take your shirt off, Michael.
1955's Diabolique.
Is there another name for that?
Just says Diabolique. The husband, Les Diabolique.
I don't know.
I don't even know what it is. Okay, here we go, Christian. The Thing. The blood testing scene. Dude, fuck yeah. And the chest bursting scene. They have both mentioned. I mean, the chest bursting scene fucked me up, but so did the blood testing scene when that shit just fucking jumps out of the fucking petri dish. Yeah. Yeah.
That's his best movie. Come on.
Come
on, Nick.
I can't do it. Is it his...
I think here's the thing.
Probably his best movie. I'll meet you halfway and say I think it's probably better made than Halloween.
Well, here's the thing. And I know you'll agree with this. You may not want to. If somebody was like, dude, I want to see a great horror film, show me one. And like, who's your favorite director? And you happen to say, I love John Carpenter, show me his best movie. You're not going to show him Halloween because deep down you're going to say, deep down you're going to say to yourself, it's 2023. I don't think this is going to connect with this kid. But literally, the Thing would impress anybody. It literally hasn't aged a single day.
Okay, well, the way you're framing it, yes, you'd be correct. Because especially with today's generation and their attention spans, I have shown Halloween to people, and they've been like, "It's kind of
boring."
And I'm like, "Yeah, you can go fuck yourself." But I've never, ever heard anybody disparage The Thing.
Dude, Nick, it's his best movie. Now, Halloween is undeniable, of course, but it's The Thing. Dude, it came back to life.
No, I know.
It's his best movie. I think even Johnny would say that.
Well, yeah, but he makes most of his money from Halloween, so I don't know. He might lie and say Halloween. The next one is the original Nosferatu, Count Orlok rising from his coffin.
You know what? I'm in a pissy mood. No. Thumbs down. Not scary. Fuck off. There's no sound.
No, I know. I mean, everybody's seen that moment. Like, dear God, it's all over. It's been all over the place for 100 fucking years now. But yeah.
Hey, now, Klaus Kinski's Nosferatu from '79, he's really fucking freaky. That would have got a thumbs up from me, but not the original.
God, I remember having that DVD, the '79 Nosferatu. My mom had it when we were kids.
Klaus is a crazy fucker.
The next one is Allison follows a barely seen intruder, and it's her dead father in The Sentinel from 1977.
Oh, more Polansky. Go fuck yourself. No.
There you go. The finale scene at the end of The Wicker Man, 1973.
I would give that a pass because I did see that as a kid. Honestly, that movie fucked me up as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie. Do you like the Nicolas Cage one? Because that's like a joke to people.
I like the Nicolas Cage one in the way that someone can like a Nickelback song. You know, like you can look at it and you can go, this is not good, but like it's fun, I guess. Yeah. I guess it's, yeah.
I don't know if that's fair, Nick. I mean, come on, meet me halfway. Listen to me.
Fair. I think Nickelback blows.
No, you think they blow, but like they have millions of fans. I don't think that means that they listen to it and say this stuff is just fun. I think they connect with millions of people.
No, yes. Okay. I'm just saying it in the sense of like the way I look at it is like where something is like ironically enjoyable. Like
I think you just don't like Nickelback.
Well, I don't because it's all I heard for like 10 years growing up.
But dude, that shit was good. Dude, they were great back then.
Yeah, but it all sounded the same. I'm pissing Dave Vanderhoff off right now. He's fucking pissed.
But he likes Nickelback.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'll meet you halfway there, Dave. I like Creed, and I like Creed unironically. I don't give a shit. But okay, yeah, it's not.
I know what you're saying. You like it the same way somebody can like fucking.
Would you go around? Well, I shouldn't ask you this. You probably fucking would. But
go ahead. What?
I wouldn't go around wearing a Nickelback shirt. Just like I wouldn't go around wearing The Wicker Man Nick Cage shirt.
Yes, you would.
I wouldn't.
Yes,
but behind closed doors, you might be like,
please.
You know, maybe.
Dude, Nick Cage is an icon, dude.
He is.
Yes, thumbs up to the original Wicker Man.
Okay, the next one is from '97, a movie called The Game, where Nicholas comes home and finds a clown dummy in the same exact position as his father.
I just watched that a couple years ago. Good movie. I got a steelbook of it. Weird. Yeah. It was weird artwork. My wife was like, "Oh, that's a good movie. You should check that out." I was like, "I'll grab it." It was good. Yes, thumbs up.
Oh, wow. I see one coming up that we just railed on a little bit. That'll be fun. 43 is It's Alive, the birth scene.
Fuck yes, dude. Oh my God. That's one of my favorites. If you're either a Rosemary's Baby person, you're an It's Alive person, and I'm an It's Alive person.
Yeah, same. I don't like Rosemary's Baby.
God bless Larry Cohen. Rest in peace, Larry Cohen.
I can't believe It's Alive is rated PG. Like I still go back and think about that, where some of these movies were fucking PG, dude. Like,
dude, yeah.
Wow, the ratings was so wild. Well, they didn't have PG-13 obviously back then, so it was like either come with your parents or fuck no. Okay, the next one is American Werewolf in London, the transformation scene. It's iconic.
It's painful.
Mm-hmm.
If that's scary, then you can give it a thumbs up. You know, but it's not. It's painful. You know, that's what it is. So,
but I figured
I'll defer to your judgment on that.
No, I will agree with you, and I'll give it a pass because I feel like if you're going to make a list like this, there's going to be a werewolf movie or two, and American Werewolf in London and The Howling are probably both going to be on there.
I like that movie a lot, man. It's just
What do you think about Paris?
no, Paris is a movie that you could have fun with the same way you can have fun listening to shitty Nickelback songs.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
They put a 4K out. There's this German company.
I know.
Put a 4K out.
I know.
They did a big launch. It was Werewolf in Paris. They did Leatherface 2017. Media Books.
And fuckers bought them too. The next one, Christian,
is a shitty movie. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It is. The next one, Christian, is the trailer attack from the original The Hills Have Eyes.
You know what? No, it's not good enough.
No, me neither. They do it way better in the remake.
Dude, that shit's
The next one is from a movie from 1960. I have not seen this one, called Black Sunday.
Oh, Mario Bava. Oh, is it when they see the woman in the bed?
In the opening scene is what it says. There's
dude. Shout out to my buddy Lauren. He doesn't ever shut the fuck up about Mario Bava, but I finally started watching some of these movies. Nick, after the show, I'm gonna send you an image from Black Sunday.
Okay.
And you're gonna be like, fuck, that's creepy.
So Christian says yes. I haven't seen it, so we defer to Christian.
Absolute masterpiece film, really is.
Next one is from the 78 Dawn of the Dead, and it is the zombie getting his head cut off by the helicopter blade. I don't know if that's scary.
I don't know, man. That's my favorite director, but I think George is also very humorous too. I'll give it a pass. I think I'll give it a pass. 78. I'll give it a pass.
Next one is Peeping Tom. Have you ever seen Peeping Tom?
No, I know I've seen multiple clips because it's in like 1,000 documentaries, but I haven't seen the film top to bottom.
We can't speak to that.
But the shit I see in the clips is it's pretty good.
Yeah. The next one is the original House on Haunted Hill from 59.
I want to talk about the 99 one.
Yeah, because I haven't seen 59. Have you?
Oh yeah, I mean of course, but Vincent Price.
Yeah, I'm looking at the poster. Okay, so I actually have seen that.
Yeah,
because I used to own a DVD set that I got from Walgreens.
Probably had that in his public domain.
Yes. And the scene they're talking about is when Nora is looking for a secret passage and finds a woman right there.
I mean, I guess you got to throw some praise to House.
You do, but give me the remake all day.
It's fun. It's really good.
Yeah.
My wife shouldn't let me live it down.
Yeah, she shouldn't. The next one is Cape Fear. Max comes after Sam's daughter.
That's a great fucking movie. That's Scorsese, right? Mm-hmm. That's De Niro.
62.
And he played the original.
Oh, this is the original with Gregory Peck.
Okay, I haven't seen the original, but I've seen the remake, and De Niro is terrifying in that movie. Terrifying. That's a great movie. Again, that was right after Silence, so everything was thriller. And
it's funny that you say that because now I'm realizing that I was thinking of the remake too. I didn't know there was I thought that was the original.
Well, let's pretend it's the remake. Let's just
if it's a remake. Yeah.
Great film. Great. De Niro is so good in that.
Okay, the next one. I'm interested to hear what you think. Aliens. The moment where Ripley and Newt are trapped with the two face huggers.
Yeah, suspenseful.
Yeah.
Edge of your seat, great movie. I mean,
I always felt watching those movies when I was younger, and still to this day, the thing that scared me the most was the face huggers, not the xenomorphs.
Yeah, yes, the face huggers are freaky because they feel so. There's something very visceral about them.
They're spider-like.
Yeah,
and it's the fact that if they latch onto you, you're fucked. You're alive while it's happening. You have to feel that happen, and then just wait for those things to burst out of. Oh God, no.
Yeah, and then the iconic shot of the thing coming up out of the water. You know. Yeah, the face huggers are freaky.
The next one is the scene in The Hitcher, the 86 Hitcher, where John Ryder tears Nash in half with two trucks. I don't know if I would have put it on this list. It is a good
I don't
moment.
know. It's a good movie. It's lost on physical media. I think somebody's putting it out on 4K finally. I have a couple Blu-rays of it. That was that guy's funny. His name is slipping me, but he did a movie. He did an alien ripoff movie that is fucking hysterical. Oh my god. What the fuck is the name of that movie? God damn it. What's the name of the actor? That's the Hitcher. Does it say it on there? Split Second is the name of the movie I'm thinking about that he did. The actor is great.
It doesn't have him on there.
Somebody's yelling it at their radio right now.
Dumb motherfuckers.
Anyway, yeah, I'll give. I love that actor so much. I'll give him a pass.
Okay.
I love that actor.
The next moment, well, it's two moments. Pick your poison in The Fly. Obviously, the body transformation scene and the birth to the maggot scene.
Maggot scene is the most disturbing thing ever. It's fucking disgusting. Yes, absolute pass.
Yep.
One of Cronenberg's best.
Pet Cemetery next. The moment they have is Gage killing Judd. Nah, that doesn't scare me at all. But there's a lot about that movie that is scary. So
funeral scene's terrifying. It's so uncomfortable, dude.
Gage's death scene, Gage's second death scene. It breaks my fucking heart, dude. When he's like, no fair, and like he's falling over and shit. You're like, this is a toddler. Like, what am I watching right now? Zelda. Yeah.
You know what I remember the first time I watched it, when you see the wife come back into the house and she first looks at the camera and she says like darling or something, and her eye,
disgusting.
Friday
the 13th, Alice getting dragged underwater by Jason. I think
I guess you have to.
Yeah, that was like the most remembered moment in that movie.
You have to.
Yep. Ooh, Christian, you're gonna like one coming up.
Okay. The
next one at 30 is the Blair Witch Project. The last 30
yeah.
seconds where she rushes downstairs. No, that's not. I agree with Blair Witch, but that is not the scariest part of the movie. The scariest part of the movie is when they're in a fucking tent and they hear the giggling and shit.
Yeah. And then there's like a part after, like, there's a part where they literally just start hauling ass.
Yes.
And you don't know what the fuck it is either, but like you're internally running too.
Yes. You're like, what the fuck are we running from? But
see, we need a new documentary on that film. We need a documentary on that film that really breaks down the actual. We have fake documentaries on it, Sticks and Stones, but we need to get those three together and tell the story, because
we can't, Christian. They all died.
You know, but like, I really want to know, because I remember reading they were out there in the woods, like legitimately having to film this shit. And I think that like they couldn't leave, like the way the director set them up is like, no,
yeah, a lot of that banter where they were like pissed off at each other is real.
Y'all got it.
Yeah.
It's a fucking masterpiece. Like I love it. I mean, I got it tattooed on me.
I just cannot respect it when someone disparages that movie. I really can't. I really can't. I just feel like that's one of those like undeniable. Like,
well, again, not to sound like the old man, but like if you live that time, those three words together, the Blair Witch Project, evoke something at the, you know, it made you feel a type. Just seeing the VHS tape would fuck you up as a kid, because like, it's incredible time. Incredible.
You're gonna like this next one. Serpent in the Rainbow.
Yeah.
The man stumbling through the village screaming, "Don't bury me, I'm not dead."
Incredible film. So fucking good.
When a Stranger Calls, the call's coming in from inside the house, of course. Yeah.
I like that TV movie, Stranger Calls Back, too.
I like the remake too. With
I don't think I've seen the remake.
With what's her face? She's in Final Destination 3. She's in Black Christmas 06.
Somebody's screaming at the radio.
10 Cloverfield Lane. What's her name? Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Okay, my keyboard is not working, so I could Google it, but it literally won't work.
Frankenstein 31.
I'll give that a pass because Karloff.
When he kills the little girl, that scene. I remember when we watched that in school when we were reading Frankenstein, our teacher had to warn us before that scene came up.
They're gonna dump the kid.
Yeah, he's gonna kill a kid now. Like, 7, the sloth victim.
Oh God, yeah, because it's disgusting. Yep. That's a great. We talked about that on the Saw episode. People,
dude, if you haven't seen that movie, guys, I don't know what's wrong with you. You gotta watch. You gotta watch it.
Have you seen that? Well, never mind. They haven't seen it. I'm gonna because they don't put the guy. Okay,
don't spoil it because I remember the first time I saw that movie, I was like, "Holy!" Well,
it's brilliant that they didn't put his name in the. You know.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
25, top 25, Phantasm. The tall man standing over Mike when he wakes up in the cemetery.
Yeah, and then you got the little bastards that jump on him. Yeah, that's a good scene. Yeah.
Suspiria, the opening death scene.
Fuck, dude. Oh my God. And the visual of the broad hanging and the that tall oh, so good.
Okay, now this one. I hope that you were in lockstep with me because I do not agree. The dreamlike rape scene in Rosemary's Baby.
Fuck. I don't like that movie. It's boring. No. Nothing about that movie is good.
Nope. Thumbs down.
Surprise.
Yeah. Don't Look Now from 1973. Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
I have not either.
It
says John corners who he thinks is his dead daughter, but it's a little person serial killer.
Wow. Sounds like Orphan.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Good one. 21. This one's pretty high. I'm surprised. Jacob's Ladder.
Oh, dude, that movie's
he sees his girlfriend getting attacked by like the fucking reptile thing. Yeah.
That movie's kind of like it only gets brought up in the conversation after you've talked about a lot of other shit, it seems like.
It's very forgotten, which is a bummer.
It's great.
20. Let's use the American version. It's Ringu, but the moment that they put was just Samara crawling out of the TV. So you could say that for The Ring as well. And I remember in The Ring, at the end of the movie, when you finally got the full motion of her coming out, coming through, and then parting her hair. I've talked about it on here before. Shit gave me nightmares.
Yeah. Oh, dude. And then that videotape. Just the footage was.
When you watch the movie, you feel like you're gonna die.
It's a good movie, and one of the things that's never left my mind about that movie is just the fact that old girl gets fired in the beginning of the movie, but she just flat out was like, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
I for some reason I'll never forget that. It's like, I'm not fired, and the guy's like, "Okay."
Okay.
I wish I had that kind of balls, dude.
I know. We're in the top 20 now, and 19 is Hellraiser. The Will Tear Your Soul Apart.
I mean, dude,
I don't find the moment scary, but it's iconic.
You gotta give just. Is it scary in context watching it now? But imagine if like all of a sudden the fucking walls in that room right there just bursted open. He came through.
I'd just be like, "Thank God, finally." 18 is The Haunting from 1963. Door bulges inward as if someone is trying to force their way in.
That's fine.
Sure. I saw it one time.
I watched the remake about a month ago.
Yeah, I enjoy that one. That's Owen Wilson, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing about it. It's like I can't help but giggle every time I see him. Like it doesn't work seeing him in horror films now because he's just so funny.
Yeah. Lightning McQueen, bro. That's all I think of because my kid's obsessed with cars.
Yeah.
17, A Nightmare on Elm Street, the rotating room sequence with Tina.
I mean, yeah.
Hard to deny, yeah.
I like it when they pull his face off and he has a skeleton face. But yeah, of course. What am I going to say? No to Elm Street.
16, The Omen. Specifically, when Mrs. Baylock kills Catherine by pushing her out the window, the priest being impaled, and the nanny hanging herself. For me, it's the nanny hanging herself.
Oh. Yeah, because of that glass break. Oh, God. Yeah, of course. I actually got that placement well in that, too.
Yep.
So.
15 is a movie from 1932 called Freaks.
Oh my God, this is a masterpiece.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's incredible. And they literally they literally got people with deformities and all kinds of shit to be in this film. Oh, it's go look up some images from it. It's fucked up.
Okay.
So good.
Number 14, John Carpenter's Halloween. The moment where Michael Myers sits up behind Laurie.
I mean, yeah, but to me, the scariest moment of the film is actually in the beginning when all the wackos are outside of the hospital. To me, that's just like, oh,
I remember watching footage of audiences' reactions from the moment that Michael sat up in theaters back in '78, and people were freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can hear people hollering. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I like when you see all the wackos. And to me, that always made me uncomfortable. Like, dude, back the fuck out. I'm turning around.
Yeah. 13 is Scream, the entire opening sequence.
I mean,
just take yourself back to the first time you watched it. It's freaky. It's freaky because it could happen to anyone.
I'll shut up.
Yeah. But do I think it should be this high? No. It should not be 13.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Number 12, Annie breaking Paul's leg with a sledgehammer in Misery.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah. No argument for me either.
Somebody gave a shit. I know we're going to talk about it on the debrief, but somebody was like, no, we already did. This was old. We did something kind of icons. Like, where's Kathy Bates from Misery? We suck as a fandom. Like, give me a break, man. Come on, dude. Give me a break.
She had one movie. Come on. The next one, 11, is from a movie called Audition.
Oh, my God. From 99.
Yes.
Holy shit. Yes.
Is it a Japanese film? Because it says Asami tortures Shigeharu.
Take a piano wire to somebody's neck and go. Oh, you need to see that movie. Yeah, that was one of those movies that broke. Yeah, I don't want to sound like a piece of shit. Like, I don't remember which Asian
it's okay. So
Asian.
Yeah, okay.
And
well, that's actually better than saying it and then being wrong.
And then it broke to the American audience. I remember seeing the tapes at Blockbuster and stuff. It's really good, Nick. It's a little slow at first, but it gets they don't give a fuck over there.
Mm-hmm. No, they really fucking don't.
Like they did a movie called The Sadness that was fucking disgusting.
Yeah. I have seen that.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, Audition's a masterpiece, dude. It really is good.
Top 10, Christian. Number 10, 1967's Wait Until Dark.
I don't fucking know.
Me neither. Here we go. Well, you know
off to a great start.
Yeah. Well, I think you know I think we know the rest of them.
Okay.
Number 9, They're Coming to Get You, Barbara, from the original Night of the Living Dead.
Oh God, yes.
How can you even argue? Yeah.
Yeah. Night of the Living Dead's great.
Yes. But honestly, I think about Halloween too when I think about that. More than anything else. I really do. With Harold sleeping in his chair.
Watching him, yeah.
She's making him a ham sandwich. Number 8. It is Susan's dream of Carrie grabbing her arm. The black prom scene in Carrie.
I gotta disagree with that. I really do.
I'm 10. Are you fucking kidding me? No way.
I'll give it a thumbs up, but because of how good the mom is in the movie, nothing to do with Carrie.
No,
and I mean, come on, when she pulls her hand out of.
The
mom was creepy.
I like that remake.
I gotta rewatch it. I watched it once or twice. I didn't really have an opinion on it. Probably not a great opinion at the time, but it's been many, 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 many years.
Number 7, Silence of the Lambs. And it is Hannibal's escape scene and Buffalo Bill's like cross-dressing scene.
Oh yeah, of course. Dude, that song "Goodbye Horses" too is a classic. Mm-hmm. Like, talk about a perfect song for that. And that sounds like a creepy song.
Yeah, and that deserves to be in the top 10. 100%.
Yeah, you fucking damn right it does.
Number 6, The Shining. They have 2 moments listed. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
No,
And the two little girls in the hallway.
no. Scariest moments of the film is definitely the grandma in the tub.
What? Yes. Yeah. Disgusting.
And the shot of the it's the shot of he's walking down the hall and he sees the guy in the bear suit.
Yes. Yes.
And it's just like, what the fuck? What do you call that? Beast? Is that bestiality? Is that what that's
Yeah.
supposed to be?
Yeah. I mean, you could. Is the guy a furry? Like,
You know what I mean, dude? Oh god.
It's the grandma for me though. But I do remember as a kid, the twins scared the shit out of me. They really did as a kid.
I love that movie.
All right, top 5, Christian, and all 5 of these, they're good. They're good.
Okay.
5 is Leatherface bashing the guy with the sledgehammer and then slamming the steel door in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Credit for actually picking, a great moment. Like, yeah, of course. Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, I agree. The shower scene in Psycho, of course, it's going to be in the fucking top 5.
Yeah, I was hoping for some.
Scary.
I was hoping for a curveball in the top 5, and I would have. If that wouldn't have made the list, I wouldn't have thought about it. But of course,
it deserves on the list. I would not put it top 5, but I guess it is probably the most iconic thing. One of the most iconic things, arguably, ever in horror. So
one of the scariest moments is in horror. It's not even on this list, I bet, but I'll bring it up when we're done.
Number 3 is The Exorcist, and they put the head spinning scene or the spider walk scene. Those aren't the scariest moments for me in that movie. I would put The Exorcist in the top 5. I personally would. But I think the scene in the attic with Ellen Burstyn is fucking freaky.
Yeah.
The masturbation with the crucifix is fucked. And the flashing of the Pazuzu face. I think those are some of the scarier scenes in the movie.
I broke down and got that Pazuzu shirt at Walmart.
Oh God,
with the green, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw it.
I wore it on some of my videos. It's kind of a cool shirt, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, no matter what you want to put from The Exorcist, I do believe it deserves to be at least top 10. They have it at 3. That's pretty high. I wouldn't argue with it because I do think it's the greatest horror movie ever made. I think that. It's not my favorite, but I do think that.
I think that's a sound answer for sure.
Okay. Number 2. I am surprised to see this one at number 2. The chestburster scene in Alien.
You know, I mean, it's good. It's really good. I'll give it a thumbs up. It deserves to be in a top 100, but I don't know. Some of the stuff that we've mentioned, like I think The Omen's scarier than Alien. Personally, I love Alien, but I guess that's all I could say. You know.
Okay. Well, number 1, Christian's gonna like hearing this.
It's gotta be Jaws.
It is Jaws.
Oh, it really is.
It is the unseen shark attack, where everyone's getting out of the water, but you don't see the shark.
I mean, to me, the scariest moment of the film was the guy who his little rowboat gets tipped over, and you see that shot of the shark almost sideways.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he goes down because he grabbed. Oh, dude, that shot of the shark right there is fucking terrifying. See, The Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Jaws, I think are, to me, it's Jaws. It's just the great, well, Scariest is what you're saying. Something about Jaws to me will always be so primally frightening. My favorite's Texas Chainsaw, or what I think the greatest is, but Scariest, something about Jaws is what I always go to. But I'm totally surprised. What I thought one of the scariest moments in horror history was, I don't care what anybody says, wasn't even remarked on this list, was Jeepers Creepers. When they're in the prison and he's got Derry and he flails his face open, and
I think it's because that movie had just recently come out when this list was compiled. I don't think it had the staying power yet. But I think if you did a list today, it would be on there.
I put it in the top 20. I mean, when he flails his face open, Jesus Christ.
I think the scariest thing, that is freaky, but I think the scariest thing is how much he does not give a fuck about what Trish is saying. That entire time, she's begging and pleading, and it changes not a goddamn thing.
Yeah, but he almost seems very carnivorous and primal. But at the very end of the movie, where you see him like in his workshop and stuff,
he's sophisticated.
It's like, how smart is this guy?
Yeah,
you know. And what a god damn.
We found out how smart he was in Reborn.
Shout out to the new Steelbook coming out. I had to talk Nick into getting this goddamn thing. Can't believe he's gonna ditch me on Reborn.
Oh, I'm gonna get it. Anybody that's dude. Multiple people DM'd me about that Steelbook, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it.
It was awesome. I'm so excited, man, because the DVDs that I saw, I could go right now and get my DVD at Walmart, but I'm like, dude, it's not good enough.
No.
I need that.
Do you have the Blu-ray?
They didn't put out a Blu-ray in America, I don't think. If they did,
I think they did. Justin got it.
Okay, well, this is what it was. I know that Dead Pit, he got a Blu-ray of it from like Umbrella or some shit, like right when after it came out. And so the Blu-ray, maybe it did. Yeah, I just never saw it in stores. I never looked for it on Amazon, so I was under the impression maybe it just got a DVD. But I'm glad I waited, because that Steelbook looks so hokey and ridiculous, just like the movie. And I told my wife about it. She was like, "Are you getting that?" I was like, "Not only am I getting that, you're watching it." She's like, "Oh God."
Yep. That's right.
It's better than 3. I swear to God. Like, what's more entertaining? A movie about nothing taking itself seriously, or a movie? How do you even describe Timo's movie?
A movie that
I'm trying to be respectful here.
I think a movie that
a horror hound fest they had too, dude.
I think it plays within its limitations really well, and I don't think Jeepers Creepers 3 did. I think that it's a movie that knows what its limitations are. It gives you what it can. But there are attempts, man. There are attempts in that movie to be like legitimately decent, but I don't know if it's the performances or the dialogue, definitely the visual effects that just make you go like,
yes.
Yeah, that just make you go like, hey, I respect that you guys are trying, but I'm enjoying this for all the wrong reasons. Whereas Jeepers Creepers 3, it's just so lifeless. Like,
and the thing is, it's like, I like the truck becoming like this booby trap thing, but that should have been an additive in maybe you don't need it in part 1, really. That should have just been an additive in a different movie, a better movie. You know, I rewatch those movies fairly frequently, and I still think number 1 is insanely good. And I literally seesaw. I literally seesaw with part 2. I like it, and I don't think it's that good. Then I'm like, no, it's pretty good. And then I literally seesaw back and forth with part 2 all the time.
I think 2 is just, it is really, really fun. Like, and it's not like Reborn, where you could say, oh, Reborn's a fun time, but it looks like shit. 2 doesn't look like shit. They had money. So like the effects are good and it's fun. So it's like, is it at all as impactful as the first movie? Not a chance.
No, it's not.
It's fun.
I wonder if it was cheaper to make, because there's not much locations in 2. They just fucking pull over on the side of the road for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, for the bulk of the creeper stuff, you know.
Here, we need a bus and a road.
I remember watching part 2 on VHS with my uncle, my family. We were watching it at my grandma's house like after dinner, because we were all big fans of the first one. And I really remember my uncle, my silly ass uncle, when you see the shot of the creeper hauling ass throughout the corns, he's like, "You ready, Bubba? There he is. Watch this shit, Bubba." And he takes the little, he takes like the flesh thing. And watch this shit, Bubba. Doom. And the bus driver, like, talk about a stereotypical bus driver, just like a. I don't have to say it. I don't have to say it. She's like, "God damn it, shit."
Yeah. But I will say, I think the moment about in Jeepers Creepers 2 that sticks with me always is the pulling the guy up through his wing and like, ripping his head off and shit. Yeah. And his body comes down. He's like, with no head.
Yeah. Well, there it is, guys. That was Bravo's 100th horror scariest moments.
Y'all asked for it. We gave it to you.
Some of it I thought was pretty impressive. Some of the deep cuts. I'm like seeing some Fulci on there from The Beyond, much less was. I think City of the Living Dead would have made this list even over The Beyond, but I mean, I guess I can't really complain that much about it, you know.
No, you got
that was fun
on there. Yeah. So, and I'm sure some of you guys are probably like, God, there were multiple movies you guys haven't seen. You guys suck. We know.
It is what it is, man. I mean, I try to watch new stuff a lot, you know. So going back to the old stuff is tough, you know. If they gave me some good releases, new releases for some of the stuff, I might be inclined to do it.
So whoever wants to take the plunge in the comments to go 100 to 1 and just go yes, no, yes, no. Feel free as you're listening.
Yeah. Just to wrap up. So I think Nick's taking a vacation, so we probably won't have an episode next week. I might wait to, I don't know, I might drop this literally tomorrow. I might wait to drop it Monday. That way it feels like there's not much of a space.
I get back Friday. I get back next Friday, so we could always record that weekend too.
Oh, well, that's the case. I'll drop it tomorrow then, because I'm off next weekend. So what's the next movie coming out theater-wise? Is it The Nun?
The Nun 2, and The Nun 2 comes out next Thursday. And believe it or not,
it's getting good reviews.
Yes, it's getting good reviews.
Well, I tell you, man, it's like it can't get worse than the first one.
Yeah. I was genuinely surprised. It's getting good reviews from outlets that were critical of the first one, and they're all saying this is what the first one should have been.
It's gonna be Rob Zombie. It's the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 of the Nun films.
Yes, it's the Annabelle creation of the Annabelle films. It is the Jeepers Creepers Reborn of the Jeepers Creepers movies.
Fuck yeah, dude. So a lot of great physical media, guys. Get ready for the Halloween season. We're officially there. Once we hit September, I think we're there. You know, hopefully the weather's getting better for everybody out there. And, you know, if you got some ideas for shows, especially Halloween or, you know, fall, there you go. I wish mine said that, but I'm getting there. It was the low 90s today when I was jogging, and I thought it was like the air conditioner was on outside. That's how bad it's been.
It's going to be 55 tomorrow morning when I go to work. I had to wear a hoodie this morning when I left for work.
I'm jelly. Everybody. So thank you guys for listening. This was fun. I was a little ornery tonight, but I don't like Polansky. Like, his movies just suck. I'm sorry.
Yeah, guys. Christian was the exhausting one this time.
Yeah, what can you do? You know,
Polansky himself is going to come in these comments.
Fuck him. He can't come to the States. So
I know.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. We love you. Episode 107 of the New Hour Podcast. We'll be back before you know it. Take care.